Say, fifth graders, Mr. Greenfield back again. Today, we are going to do a review of equivalent fractions, and you have two options in your bundle. One of them is the equivalent fractions build a snowman game. And in that one, if you look at the directions, each person starts with their blank snowman. And what you're going to do is try and get the facial features, the hat, the scarf, the arms, the buttons, and so forth before your opponent does. So you'll need an opponent for this game. You'll need two dice. And with the dice, you'll roll them. So if I go, I've got a 4 and a 3. So I can either make the fraction 3/4, and I can go over here and go to 3, and down here and go to 4, and where they meet would be this one, which is choice. So I can pick which parts I want. I want to do eyes, nose, mouth, arms, buttons, hats, or scarf. Or I could make this an improper fraction and make it be 4/3. And I can go here to the 4 and over here to the 3, and where they meet would be eyes. So it depends on what I want or what I need. So each fraction you can make, like I said, as an improper fraction or a fraction, and you can decide which one you want to choose. I'm going to go with 4/3, and I'm going to go for the eyes. So if I look at that, what you're trying to do, if you remember from equivalent fractions, something eighths is equivalent or the same as 21/56. Now, if you remember from before, all I'm doing with an equivalent fraction, this is the same, whatever it is. Let's say it's a pizza. This pizza was cut into 8 slices. I've done more slices, and now it's the same size pizza, but it's now cut into 56 pieces. So therefore, I need to eat 21 of those 56 to get the same amount as I did over here for eighths. So to figure out what this value is, all I have to do is know my math facts. What did I multiply times 8 to get 56 as an answer? Well, I know my multiplication facts. I multiplied 8 times 7. So if I multiply 8 times 7 and get 56, I have to do the same to my numerator, and I have to think, what did I multiply times 7 to get 21? Well, I know that 3 times 7 is 21, so therefore 3/8 must be my fraction. 3/8 is the same as 21/56, or 3 slices out of 8 of my pizza would be the same as 21 slices if that same size pizza was cut into 56 smaller pieces. So anytime you're dealing with equivalent fractions, we need to know here our math facts. So if you get it right, then you take your paper. In this case, I get eyes, so I get to put eyes on my snowman. And then the dice would go to my opponent, and then she or he would roll, and then they could do it as well. Now, if you look at the directions, once a problem's been solved, you cover it up and it can't be used again. So this one is done. Nobody can use that one. If you roll and you end up with eyes again, and I already have eyes, then in that case, if you look at it, it says if you already have the part you roll, you miss a turn. So then I would lose a turn. It'd be my opponent's turn. If you roll a problem that's already been covered, you get to roll again. And at the end, if no one's able to finish their snowman, the person with the most complete snowman will be the winner. So you and your opponent can do that. Now, let's say you don't have an opponent or you don't want to play the game. Then the other option, excuse me, is the mystery picture equivalent fractions, where you're going to need 6 colors: green, yellow, black, blue, orange, and brown. And you're going to find fractions that are equivalent to these using the same principle that we did on the front, where you're going to use your multiplication facts. So if I look down here at this middle of the page, I've got 50/60ths. Okay. Well, I know if I look at 5/6, if I take 6 times 10, I get 60. and I take the numerator times the same factor, 5 times 10, I get 50. So if I'm multiplying both the denominator and the numerator by the same number or same factor, in that case 10, and I get that, then I know it's equivalent. So 50 60ths is the same as 5 6. It's just cut into more slices. Therefore, it takes more of those smaller pieces to be equivalent to the same amount of fraction here. In that case, I would have to shade this in with my black crayon. If I look at the one above it, 12 16ths, well, I know there's no way I can multiply any number times 6 and get 16. 1 times 6, 2 times 6, 3 times 6, none of those equal 16. I know there's no way that 5 can make 16. Because any number that I'm going to multiply times a 5, my answer is either going to end in a 5 or a 0 if it's a multiple of 5. So that one's out. So I look at 3/4. Let's see. Can I make 4 into a 16? Let's see. 4 times 4 is 16, so that'll work. Then I have to take the same number times 4. So 3 times 4, that's 12. Yeah, that does work. So this one would be green. So I know this one's green, this one's black. 4 6ths. Well, once again, 4 6ths and 5 6ths, they're not the same. There's no way I can make a 5 by multiplying it times any factor that would be a 6. 2 times 1 or 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4. There's no way that's a 6. So it's going to have to be this 2/3 over here, because I know I can multiply 2 times 3 and get 6. So if I multiply this times 2, I have to take the top number times 2. My numerator times 2 is 4. 4 6. Yep, that works. So I know that one's orange. So basically, you have to go through this, match up each one of these with one of these equivalent fractions. Now, some of them are easier than others because I know, like I showed you with this 6, there's only certain numbers here. This ends in a 5. Nope, that can't be a 6. That can't be a 6. So you have to look at the denominator there first and see, is that going to work? Now, some of them that end in zeros and fives, you know that they are going to be factors that you can multiply this 5 times, or this 5 or this 5. So it's going to be one of those 3. So you can kind of narrow it down a little bit as you go through. So you can either do the mystery picture or my favorite game, the equivalent fractions, build a snowman. And this one, the first one to make that snowman wins the game. So if I rolled again on this game, if I went back to this game, remember I can either be 5/4 or I can be 4/5, and depending on what I need. So if I go 4/5, that's choice. That's nice because I might need a choice and pick what I want. Or if I go 5/4, here's 5, here's 4, and that's a scarf. Well, I don't want a scarf, so I'm going to go for this one. And 1/4 is the same as 20 over something. So I have to figure out 1 times what gives me 20. Well, I know that 1 times 20 is 20. So therefore, I had to take 4 times 20 in order to figure out what this letter X is. Well, X would have to be 80, because I know 4 20s would be 80. So 20/80ths is the same as 1/4. Since I got that right, I'm going to cross that one off. Nobody else can do it. And I can go to my picture and I can add my scarf on my Build a Snowman. And you can add color to it and stuff later. That's up to you. You can add designs on your scarf if you want to. But your job is to build your snowman before your opponent does. Now, if you're playing mom or dad, then they could go next. Or if you have a friend that you're playing with online, maybe you have a classmate and you're playing using your phone, that might work as well. Maybe you have a grandparent at home that you can play against. But the big thing here is to work on equivalent fractions, whether you're going to play this game or if you're going to choose to do the mystery picture. And as always, if you have any questions, please email me.